and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith, and today we're making Manhattan clam chowder. This is one for all of you that are lactose intolerant or allergic to lactose. It is tomato based rather than milk based. Something my dad made, I wouldn't say frequently, but quite often. It's not that different from the Boston. And remember, I did promise you when I made the Boston that I would make this one soon. We're finally going to do it. Even in the summer, when you think soup is kind of a weird idea, there are days that are cool, gray and rainy, and it's nice to have a little warm seafood. So, main ingredients, of course, are the clams. Today I'm using frozen clams, which I have thawed just in their package in a sink full of cold water. It only took a couple of hours. And I do have the clam liquor and canned tomatoes. If we need more tomato, we got some clamato juice there in the back. Waxy potatoes, onions, garlic, and of course the bacon. We're gonna cook our onions and garlic in the bacon. Everything's gonna go in the pot and get happy. We have our pan warm. We're going to put our bacon in. And there's just 3 slices of bacon cut into 1-inch pieces, well, half-inch pieces. And to give it a little bit of a head start, we're going to put in about 2 teaspoons of oil. I use avocado oil. We are trying to make this without lactose, so no butter. Use oil or margarine. Separate the bacon pieces as well as you can. And now we're going to let them cook for a bit to render out their fat. And this is on a very low, medium low. We don't want them to brown. We don't want them to get crispy. We just want them to render the fat because that's the flavor we want. Now that our bacon has rendered and is starting to go brown, that's perfect. We're going to add 1 yellow onion. Now you can use a Spanish onion, a white onion, a sweet, whatever onion you've got. You could even use a red onion. A good sized one, so it's probably 2 cups of chopped onion. And some celery. Again, probably about 2 cups of chopped celery. Stir that around, let it coat itself in the fat and oil. And we're just going to let that cook for a bit until the onion gets a little translucent. And then add the garlic. Right, everything's looking wonderful. We're going to add the garlic now, and that's just about 3 cloves of garlic. And just into the pan. And this will only take a few seconds to cook because we only want to wait until it gets lovely and aromatic. Just give it a good stir around. There we go. As soon as you can smell the garlic, like I said, only a few seconds, we're going to add our potatoes. And that's 4 yellow flesh potatoes that have been scrubbed and any blemishes cut away. And a good stir. Okay. Next step is the liquid. You just want to give that a minute to settle down and get everything flavored. Okay. I move the camera a little closer so you get a better look. And that is me opening the clam liqueur. So, as I did in the other video for my Boston clam chowder, I am going to strain this through a cheesecloth. Ooh, this one actually looks pretty clear. we're good there. And then 1 can, 28 fluid ounce of diced tomatoes. And some water. That's about a liter, a little under a liter of water. Maybe a liter. Just enough so that the vegetables are covered. And I do have in reserve clamato juice just in case we need more liquid in it. Now we're going to bring this up to a simmer and start adding our seasonings. So let's give it a minute to get hot. And we have a good simmer going. Now we're going to start adding the seasoning. So we want a bay leaf. And if you've got a small bay leaf, put in 2. And we want salt and pepper. And that's probably not quite a teaspoon. And freshly ground pepper, which I always think is always the best. And we want about a 1/4 of a cup of fresh parsley chopped. Let's give it a taste. It's pretty good. Very tomatoey, very tangy. Okay, but at this point I don't think it needs any more salt. I might change my mind later. You could add, as I did in the Boston clam chowder, some of my lobster spice, which I will put in with the recipe, which is just basically white pepper, smoked paprika, salt, and garlic powder. But right now we're doing good. I want to check and see how those potatoes are doing. Give me a little piece of potato here. Okay, I think we're good. So I'm worried about the level of fluid in there and the amount of vegetables, and we still have to add the clams. So I am going to add a bit of clamato juice. It is going to be a very hearty soup. I mean, it's not going to be thick, the broth will be thin, but there will be a lot in it. So now we're going to turn it down, because when we add the clams, we do not want it to be doing a raging boil or anything. We just want it at a gentle simmer, just below a boil. We want to cook the clams gently, so we don't want this doing a strong simmer. We just want it very, very low simmer. Okay, as you can see, we're down to just a couple of little bubbles. So now it's time to add our clam meat. And this is 300 grams of thawed frozen clams. Now you could use canned clams or fresh clams, but I did want to try the frozen. This is my first time trying frozen. So, let me actually, ooh, wow, smell is very, very clammy. Let's, one here. Okay, yeah, they're tender. They're lovely. It would actually do really well in a clam linguine or something. So now we're just gonna warm it up and it'll be ready to serve. We don't want to overcook the clams, so we're not gonna raise the temperature any. We're just gonna let them sit there in the hot liquid until they're cooked. Don't forget to check the seasoning before you serve. Don't overdo it though. I'm going to taste mine now that I've put it in a bowl. And be aware of what you're serving it with. If you're serving it with saltine crackers or oyster crackers, you might want to go light on the salt. But I do think I want some white pepper in there. And let people season to their preference at the table. Oh yeah, that's wonderful. So that is Manhattan clam chowder, and I've served it with saltines, which I'm going to break a bunch in there. This is so good. I can't wait to just devour it. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a like, subscribe, it's free. Hit the bell icon, check my Instagram. I do put up notices about what's coming up next in the middle of the week as my videos come out on Sunday. So I am going to enjoy my clam chowder, and I hope you will too.